This episode of the Boss Rush Podcast is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to support the Boss Rush Network and our family of podcasts, head on over to our Patreon at patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. Thanks for your continued support. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boss Rush Podcast, a great place to play games and be better. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Dirrig, and alongside me, as always, is the PC muscle race himself, LeRon Dawkins.
Yo, this music I'm listening to is popping. I tell you that right now.
Of course, you're listening to music while we're podcasting.
Hey, I gotta have some. I gotta have something in the background.
Yeah, because we're so boring to you.
No, it's not. No, it's not that. It's not that. Like it helps. It helps for the dead air that happens when we're recording.
Also, speaking of dead air, joining us is the mad pharmacist herself, Stephanie Klimov.
But I'm not exactly dead. LeRon is laughing so hard at this. By the way, well, I was gonna compliment you, Corey, and I don't feel like complimenting you anymore.
That's fine. I don't need it.
I like
what? Like
I like his sweatshirt.
The chode meter. The chode meter is like right here, isn't it?
Just wait till I'm back to full power, Corey. You're gonna regret it.
I kind of already do. I got my sweatshirt though.
It looks fantastic.
On screen it looks fantastic. On the screen printing does not look fantastic. It's kind of blurry and not wonderful, but it's okay. I also got the t-shirt with the logo on it. I also got a Pow Block t-shirt and a Boss Rush Network t-shirt for PAX.
Nice.
I also got these bad boys, my business cards.
Yeah, buddy.
Nice.
Yeah. Really excited. I also made Ed apply for PAX last night.
I saw a tweet out there. I wasn't sure if all of a sudden he just got accepted and is magically going, or we still don't know if he's really going.
We don't know yet.
Okay.
Even if he apply, we probably won't know until if he shows up. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
Just a surprise.
Yeah.
Speaking of surprises, also here is PK Power, Pat Klein.
Hello, everyone.
You're a nice surprise sometimes, Pat.
Yeah, that's what I get told. Most of the time, though, it's not an unpleasant surprise.
So what I wonder is like, would Ed be like a surprise, or would he be a surprise, motherfucker?
Be like, where are you staying, Ed? Because everything else is full now.
You just reminded me of that Instagram reel of that guy who's like does the whole thing with 12 different scenes of surprise, motherfucker. And then he holds up exactly, Hunger Games. Rue dies, motherfucker. Oh, that's the only one I remember, but every time I see it, it's funny. It makes me laugh every time. Also, that was a very terrible black person impersonation by me, but that's okay. I'm pretty pasty, so makes sense.
So check this out real quickly, right? Because I'm just perusing on the good old Twitter, because I dead name apps, like nobody's business. Besides, in the address bar, it says twitter.com. So there you go. It's like, how deep do you actually need to squat at the gym? And I'm like, you know what? I wouldn't mind doing the traditional ass to grass squat. But I always feel like I'm being watched when I do it, so I don't do it.
What?
Okay.
Stephanie's like, what?
I haven't done squats in 15 years, LeRon, so I can't tell you. Side tangent.
But you were a football player, so you had to do those really deep squats.
God. Yeah, don't remind me, man. I thought I was gonna die. Speaking of dying, this is my favorite tweet every single February from Cheap Ass Gamer. Even though it's January, but it's my favorite tweet. Every year at this time they tweet that out.
Rumor: a Nintendo Direct will most likely happen this year. I love it.
I love it.
Yeah, right now it's a race. Will Sony have theirs first, or will Nintendo have theirs first? I feel like Sony would be first.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I think Nintendo will go first, and then Sony will go last because they'll be the last one to have their presentation. So all eyes and the new cycle will end on them and be stuck on them. Would be my thing.
Well,
Yeah,
regardless,
good idea.
Nintendo's been low key dropping some announcements. I mean, nothing huge, but they've definitely been active with their announcements, like the Legend of Zelda concert, which is on YouTube but not live. But hey, better than nothing. The pink Joy-Cons for the Princess Peach game, and I think they gave a date for the second DLC for Splatoon 3.
Yep,
I think those are a
22nd,
couple things.
February 22nd,
Yep.
and then March 22nd for Princess Peach Showtime, which we didn't know until those Joy-Cons were announced. So
Yeah.
thanks, Nintendo.
I thought that was had a date for March, but maybe.
The last I checked, the last direct or the last time they showed it, it said spring 2024. So
As long as Nintendo can keep up the pace of one game a month, like they've been going with.
Yeah, they had two bangers this month. Apparently, another Code Recollection is amazing.
Man, I guess you'll have to wait and find out when I talk about it.
Yeah, I guess so. There's something else I was going to bring up too. Oh, I have a question real quick. Speaking of Joy-Cons, I've been needing new Joy-Cons for a long time. I've been using the same blue ones since launch, since I bought my launch Switch.
In
And
the red and blue.
no, just the blue ones. I bought the red and blue ones with my launch console, but my launch console was the gray one. But I didn't want the red one, so I traded my red one in, and somebody in front of me, or somebody had traded in recently the other blue one because they only wanted the red ones, and so I ended up getting a full pair of blue ones.
Okay.
And I've been using them since launch, and they're like, I'm not experiencing Joy-Con drift or anything, but like the buttons are kind of like, when you've been using a controller for over 5 years, how you just like, I kind of need a new one.
Dude, do you want a set of mine? I have too many.
Maybe we'll discuss.
I think mine is the Wario color.
The purple ones.
Yeah, purple and orange, which is not really my favorite color set, but they're just sitting, collecting dust, doing nothing.
Maybe.
I got the red and blues. I got the pink and green. I got the Zelda Skyward.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I also have the Zelda ones, but they're display only. They are not to be played with. I don't want the little Triforce to rub off. But anyways, I was at Best Buy the other day, and I was like, let me see how much a set of Joy-Cons costs because I need some new ones. They're $80.
Yeah,
Yes.
dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
They've always been
They've
$80.
been $80 since the beginning of time.
I just forgot because I have never bought a separate pair of Joy-Cons ever.
Mm-hmm.
I have yet to buy a set of Joy-Cons. Because I thought about it, and like if they had sold the Monster Hunter Rise ones separately, those would have been the first ones I bought.
Yeah, I've actually been using the white ones because they're fresh. I've never really used them, so I've been using those. But I don't like using white controllers. Not that I'm like not that I'm like a dirty person, but like I don't know. I don't want them to get dirty is the problem.
Yeah,
and
just using white controllers, like they get tacky.
Yeah, and so yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Stephanie, we'll talk after this. Maybe it's a hot maybe right now.
Yeah, I mean, Nintendo's been doing the most. They got the most expensive damn controllers.
It would be cheaper for me just to buy like a controller mount and just mount the OLED screen to a Pro controller at this point.
Right? Yeah,
Guys, you're paying for that 3D Rumble that was only used in one game.
3 games, bro.
3 games?
Yeah,
I've only played one of them, I guess.
Yeah, shoot, like it's more than 3 games by now because I mean, Advance Wars rumbles whenever I'm getting my tanks rocked.
3D Rumble, one that makes you feel like you had marbles in your controller.
Explain 3D Rumble. You mean like it has like zone control in the Rumble?
There is a play 1-2
switch.
Nope.
Play the marble counting game.
Put the marbles in the box. You'll understand. That's all I can say.
No.
Basically,
say.
when you move
like
your
that.
controller, you get a sense of marbles rolling down a box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the kind of
Yeah.
3D run. That's
I'm
what
like
3D Rumble is.
I'm
Yeah.
like that. I'm like that vulture from Looney Tunes. No.
Also, like, I'm hesitant to buy Joy-Cons at this point in the Switch's life cycle, especially if the successor comes out this year or early next year, right? Like,
Well, that's the other thing, right? I think I posed that question to Palblock, and I
you
hopefully
did.
you guys
We
talked
answered it.
about.
We answered
Good,
it.
because like when they announced the pink one for Peach, I'm like, oh, that's great, but I don't know, unless you really, really, really love pink, I'm like, will these even be used for the next Switch? Or
Yeah.
probably, I feel like it's not. So
Yeah, I think we came to the spoilers for Nintendo Power Block. I think we came to the conclusion that the accessories will be backwards compatible, but we don't know if the Joy-Cons will actually connect to the console. But it'll be like a Wii to Wii U situation where like you can use the Wii remotes if you have them already. But
that makes all right. Well, we'll see, right? Eventually.
yeah, hopefully they just make a giant Switch Lite that docks. That's not a Switch Lite, where they actually have a real D-pad. The controllers are attached to the console, and we won't have any problems.
Hey, I got a question for you because like usually on the nights that we're recording the podcast and stuff like that, I'm paying attention to the stuff that goes on Twitter and stuff like that. Did you notice one of the likes from our tweet tonight about like the show going live? One of the likes is from at Max Your Fans, and when I go to their their Twitter page, it's basically got the whole OnlyFans thing going on because it's got the circle with the lock in it, and then it's got the fans in the fancy.
Is that
in
a
the
bot
fancy writing.
thing too? Like, what is that?
It's a
I
bot.
believe it is a bot. Yeah.
It's so since we started promoting After Dark pretty heavily again, like sometimes just because we all have, well, most of us have jobs that may be hesitant to promote After Dark, I don't promote it as heavily as the other shows. Just in case somebody might get in trouble for that. But I was like, oh well, we're gonna do it anyway. So I've been promoting it pretty heavily again on Twitter and Facebook and
Well, that makes sense now, because I was wondering why all of a sudden all these like inappropriately young-looking, scantily clad women started liking our podcast stuff. I'm like, I don't understand.
Yeah, anything with the term After Dark or alternative in the title, it doesn't matter if it's hashtagged or not. Those bots will find us.
Interesting.
Including Goth Al or whatever her name was, that AI bot that was like, wow, I can't wait to see what you talk about.
I just want to know. I just want to know why. I just want to know why I'm getting targeted with erectile dysfunction, testosterone, and Grubhub. What? Those are my top three like target.
Because you're a middle-aged man who's horny and hungry, I guess. I don't know.
I'm not horny on the main. I'm not horny on the main. I mean, not always horny on the main.
What, when you're sleeping? Anyways.
We're talking about video games tonight.
This
let's
is
get the rest of that bullshit for After Dark.
Oh gosh. All right, we're gonna run through this housekeeping real quick. Boss Rush is headed to PAX East. Boss Rush Podcast and the Boss Rush Network are headed to PAX East. You will be able to find us roaming the show floor. If you're there, come say hi to us. We'll be covering the event as part of the media, doing demos, conducting interviews, recording podcasts or two live from the event. So make sure you keep an eye on bossrush.net or our YouTube channel for all that stuff. PAX East is taking place in Boston on March 21st through the 24th. So get your badges now and come say hello. Also, if you want to support the Boss Rush Podcast and the Boss Rush Network, you can head over to our Patreon at patreon.com/Boss Rush Network, where you can get this show 1 week early and ad-free, and other perks like early access to other podcasts, voting rights, and more at the tier that's right for you. Again, that's patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. You can also get there from our website at bossrush.net by clicking the Patreon link. If you can't contribute financially, it's no big deal. Your viewership and listenership is enough for us. If you're watching the video, subscribe to the Boss Rush YouTube channel, leave a thumbs up on the video, and hit the notification bells so you get notified when new episodes go live. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star rating and a nice review. It really helps with visibility and discoverability. Remember, you can always find new episodes of our podcast, articles, reviews, and more on our website at bossrush.net. You can also grab merch from your favorite show on our TeePublic store. Head on over to our website and click the store icon or click the link in the show notes to browse over 40 designs from the Boss Rush Network, including the Boss Rush Podcast, Pal Block, After Dark, Boss Rush Network, and more. I hear those heritage shirts and pride shirts are pretty cool looking. So,
Oh yeah, I'm looking at the Asian and Pacific Islander colors. And just to give you guys a visual for the POW block ones, I'm digging that design. If you are a millennial-ish, Gen X-ish age range, you might have grown up with a certain Nintendo Power magazine that had a certain type of logo. Might tickle that little nostalgia bone.
It's cool. I like it a lot. I wore it on the show last night. I got my shirts in yesterday, and they were they're pretty cool.
Nice.
The material's like not like I don't know. The material's a little weird for me. It's like this weird material. It's cotton, but it's like this weird stretchy cotton that like I don't know if I like personally. But I didn't buy the regular t-shirt. I bought the premium tee. So there's different selections you can choose or whatever. I'm wearing the Boss Rush Podcast hoodie right now. It's very comfy. I like their hoodies. Their hoodies are comfy. I'll give them that for sure. Lastly, we're giving away Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on the PlayStation 5. To enter, subscribe to the Boss Rush Network on YouTube and comment Buster in all caps on this video, or look for a post on Patreon if you're a patron at any level. If you're a Patreon subscriber, you are automatically receiving 2 entries for this episode. So if you comment Buster on the giveaway post, you'll get 2 entries on Patreon. If you're regular, go to this video or our Twitter post and comment Buster. The winner will be announced on social media on Monday, February 26th, just in time for you to get the game for launch weekend. So follow us at Boss Rush Network on socials to find out more. With that being said, let's get into what we've been playing. I've been playing Super Mario RPG. I think I'm almost done, but I'm not 100% sure. Maybe you guys can tell me.
Where are you at?
I just Malo kind of found out he was the prince of the Sky Town, the Cloud Town.
If you power through, you got maybe like 3 hours left.
Oh,
yeah,
3
you
hours.
still have like one final stretch to do.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I mean, I figured I can do it tonight and tomorrow, and I'll be ready for book club on Friday.
Yeah, you got like 4 dungeons.
That's fine. I can do it. That's kind of all I've been playing though, because I've been trying to power through this and get our Bossies stuff ready to go and doing some graphics for that. And Stephanie wrote the script, and we're kind of dividing that up, and it's a whole thing. By the time this comes out to the public, that video will be out. So
Nice.
Watch it, maybe,
or else.
Yeah, or else. But that's my quick and dirty. The game is growing on me. The beginning was kind of boring. It starts out real slow. Gino, I see why people like Gino a little bit. He's kind of OP for he's like the most powerful character in the game.
Oh really? I played almost the whole game without him.
Oh, I've been using him and Bowser the whole time.
Gino's the one that buffs your team.
Buffs your team? I'm using him as a DPS.
He's also the buffer.
Oh.
He's got that skill that buffs your attack, and if you hit it right, your defense as well.
Oh.
Yikes. Yeah, I've been playing the game wrong then. My mains, obviously
me too.
Mario, is Malo and Bowser.
It's also a fun game to play in front of my kids because it's like not violent, and my kids know who the characters are now from the movie and play Mario Party and stuff. So like my daughter's like, is Peach in the game? I'm like, yeah. Take out Bowser. He's scary. I'm like, you just told me the other day he was the good guy in the movie. What do you mean he's scary?
Well, speaking of Peach, and I'm not trying to pull a feminist thing, but I do switch Malo out for Peach sometimes. I notice she really does have an OP special attack, like the final one that you unlock, the bomb one, where she just like unleashes a bunch of bombs. But the way the description is, it's like, "Don't make me angry," and I'm like, I know. Honestly, I'm not offended by it, but like it's in the back of my head where it's like, go figure. The one female in the game, she's a healer because all healers are freaking female, and then the only really awesome attack, which is awesome, it's just because you're making me angry. Like,
I wouldn't play Super Princess Peach then, because that game is all about her
Yeah.
going through emotions
was-
and her powers that come from her.
I was just about to say, yeah. Whoa. Yeah, I
When
was.
she's
I was
angry,
about to
she
say,
makes
yeah. Like Peach had a history.
yeah.
Peach had a history of that whole like emotional management thing.
If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network and our family of podcasts.
And that's how Nintendo sees women.
Yeah. Nintendo Super Princess Peach, right? Yeah. Anyways, but that's what I've been playing. Super Mario RPG. It's fun. It's yeah. If you want to try it out, go ahead, I guess. Stephanie, what are you playing?
I got to play a few games. Currently, I'm playing Space for the Unbound because it was something that I started last year, but it just, I think it's a mix of kind of fighting a little bit of boredom in the the beginning part of the game that you get used to it. I'm not calling it boring, but I'm just saying relative to all the other 2023 games that came out, my gaming ADHD just went haywire. So I thought, well, I'll just put this down and I'll play Resident Evil 4 Remake or something like that. Like I was just like, and then unfortunately when I put it down, I never picked it back up. And I'm like, why did I do that? So I picked it back up. And then once I got past the initial introductory phase, it finally sank its like hooks into me, finally. And I'm so glad. Like right now I'm doing like a bunch of space diving where you dive into someone's consciousness and you're almost trying to gather evidence. It's like a judge and jury type scenarios when people start going a bit crazy. Like now it's super fun. Like now I'm really engaged. I can't wait to see where this goes.
There's a little bit of a love letter to the Ace Attorney series with that one.
All right, well that makes sense. So I'm just
the objection.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I had a feel that looked and sounded familiar. So I'm just really glad that I prioritize that now. I'm like, all right, before I get ADHD later, this is a game that I have to prioritize on my backlog. So it is my current game. I also beat Bear's Restaurant. I wrote a review on it. It's a super short game. It's part of Odin Cat's Paradise Collection. I got it from Limited Run. I'll leave it up to my review to speak for itself. Overall, it was a good game. It's like a microscopic version of kind of like a Space for the Unbound in a sense that it's trying to deal with, serious topics and diving into thoughts and memories, but just even more simplistic. Like, no offense, Space for the Unbound is much better. And also, the back of the box description was very misleading. It's like, you have amnesia, but you're working in a cafe and the bear is the chef and you have to serve the dead's last meals and you have to like go through their memories and make their favorite dish so they can rest in peace. So I'm like, oh, this is a cooking simulator with story elements. Okay, that's like how I interpreted the summary. That was like the first 15 minutes of the game. Then it just went like in a completely like random direction. Not random, but different. It became more of like an adventure storytelling game, which isn't bad. It's not what I was expecting a cooking sim. I was confused. very short. I sent you a screenshot of what looked like not an appropriate image, but I think it's just the way the artistry was. And then last but not least, I beat Inscription and I freaking loved it. I loved Inscription so much. I am not a deck building player and I hate roguelikes. This game has both, but it still rocked my socks off. It has 3 acts. I think it's always been advertised with the content from the first act. When you get in Act 2, you were like, what the F just happened? And it becomes super meta. There's like just a lot of secrets. I was addicted to playing that game. I ended up really enjoying Inscription a lot. I think it's going up there on one of my more favored games on my just overall gaming list. That's what I've been playing.
Nice. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about Inscription. I just has cards in it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, no, yeah. Well, I get
Inscription.
it. I get it. I don't like deck building games. I really don't. But I made an exception for it because I got it from the physical from Limited Run, and everyone keeps saying how great it is. So I'm like, fine, I will make an exception and play. And I'm really glad that I did. This is the one that I think it was. I don't know what showcase it was on, but this is the same creator who is making the Return to Pony Island, like the Pony Island 2 game that's coming out. That looks
Mhm.
really messed up. And
You
I'm like,
should try Pony Island 1 and just see how messed up it is.
yeah. Like when it comes to, I wouldn't call it necessarily a horror game, but like horror adjacent, I love that kind of stuff. I love the unsettling, eerie, meta type
I would
stuff.
probably, yeah, I'd call it a meta horror.
Yeah, there you go.
Where it's not horror in the game, it's horror to mess with you.
Yes.
Mhm.
Exactly. So that's what I've been playing. I'm really pleased with how my new year's starting. I'm not necessarily going for numbers, but the fact that Inscription was a backlog game. The Bears Restaurant was a backlog game. Space for the Unbound unfortunately became a backlog game. So like I'm already hitting ding 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 my top priority backlog games. So
Yeah. So what's that
Nice.
put you at? That puts you at 4 then so far.
yeah, because technically I think I beat Baldur's Gate on New Year's Day or something.
Would
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate have been a backlog though? Because you kind of just picked it up and played straight through it.
No, I would not say it's a part of the backlog. I would say total games that I've beat in
Oh.
2024, that's 4. But for backlog, I think it's just 3. Inscription, Space for the Unbound, I'm in the process of beating, and Bear's Restaurant. So
She's beating us, guys.
Yeah, I'm still trying to beat Mario RPG. Okay, although I did make a list of games that I started and have to beat on vacation.
okay, what is that?
Which is Link's Awakening remake.
Okay.
I have 2 dungeons left.
Oh God, you had to remind me. Oh God, I never beat it. Damn. Damn.
Super Mario 3D World. I have 3 levels left in the
100%, right?
to 100% it.
Nice.
And then
Hang on a
I'm
second. I beat the original Link's Awakening. Can I just claim that I beat Link's Awakening remake?
no. No, because some of the quests are fundamentally different because of the way the game works.
Life's unfair. I know
Yeah,
how
it
the
is.
story ends. Life is unfair.
Life's tough. Wear a helmet. I also want to play through Bowser's Fury because I've never even started it, which is part of the 3D World package. What was the other one? There was another one that I said I was going to finish, and hold on, let me look real quick. Oh, I did download the original Final Fantasy VII, because I played through like that first area, and I was like, no, this is boring. I'm done. Not Midgar. I'm saying just like the first. Let's watch things explode, and then we'll all get on a train and drive away.
Bombing mission. Got it.
Yeah. But I figure if all these Final Fantasy games are finally making their way to Xbox, maybe I should play these. The order I hear is original Final Fantasy VII, Crisis Core, and then Final Fantasy VII Remake, and then
Why are you
Rebirth,
doing
I
that to
guess.
yourself?
Why not?
Technically, it
Just play,
is
just play the remake and just move
original.
on about
Then
the
you go to
business.
Crisis Core.
There's some
Then
real
you jump
poser energy
over
there,
to
LeRon.
you jump over to Advent Children, followed by Dirge of Cerberus. Then you
No,
got the
I'm not doing
entire
all that
story
shit.
right there,
I'm
and
trying.
then you go back to the remakes.
Okay, I'm trying to save you. Okay, because there's a lot of convoluted stuff that happens in the old school Final Fantasy VII, and I'm trying to save you from asking a bunch of questions when remake is literally doing its best to iron all that shit out.
Well, I'm excited to maybe try it. Okay,
And you're gonna hate the battle system. I'm gonna say that right now. You're gonna hate
that's
the battle
fine.
system. If
That's fine.
you think Mario RPG is was getting on your nerves when you first started that, the best thing about the original Final Fantasy VII's battle system is the materia system.
Okay.
I think though the ports to Final Fantasy have like quality
Yeah.
of life changes, right? Where
Yeah, there is definitely a mode where you
modifiers.
don't have to play it like an RPG. There is literally a story mode that you can
Oh,
play
that's
through.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Otherwise, it would be a little bit on the grindy side.
Yeah, which I'm not trying to do that. I heard like you can fly through that story mode in about 12 hours, which is okay with me, I think. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'm excited to finish some games. But I've been putting a lot of stuff off because of the bossies. I'm trying to get that done in Mario RPG. So I'm really trying not to spread my focus thin. So, LeRon, what about you?
All right. I'm on the hashtag Return to World campaign. So back to playing Monster Hunter World Iceborne. I'm actually taking my time and I'm actually doing something that differently than what I do like usually when I play Monster Hunter, and that's actually completing the rungs of quests before I move on to the next star rating. So right now I'm on 5-star rating. I know a lot of people that are listening and do not play Monster Hunter have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. But basically, you can do key quests and move right to your next star ranking, and like the continue the story and stuff like that. Like I'm clearing my quests. I'm clearing all the quests in that star rung before I move to the next rung.
Hmm.
And then I've been spending some time with the Tekken 8 demo, which has been fun. I do love the fact that because someone stole it from me
Mhm.
on the freaking Metacritic draft. I do like
Who?
how it's sitting at a
I wonder
90 right
who.
now. I like how it's sitting at a 90 right now, and I'm I played I played Tekken. I've been a Tekken player since Tekken 2 came out way back in the day and stuff like that. And I'm enjoying what I'm seeing in the demo. The battle system, the it's Tekken, but there's new things going on with the battle system. They made some changes from Tekken 7, and so like I miss there's that the rage arts are still there, but rage drives are gone, and I kind of miss that. But I feel like that's an adjustment I can deal with because like the fighting system in the game with what's called the heat system is pretty nice, and it gives new people like an actual tool, like people who've never played Tekken before, because like when you engage in the rage system, you can actually regain some of your health back during the matches and stuff like that. So it's something cool to be on the lookout for. Of course, like you need to learn the ins and outs of Tekken. Like there's so much there's so much nuanced stuff in Tekken. Even though like people with basic fundamental like fighting game like learnings will be able to get in and play like this. Just like I guess how we can say like Monster Hunter Rise was like entry level Monster Hunter for new people. Like Tekken 8 definitely is doing that as well. So I can't wait to play it in 2 days. As a matter of fact, I found a nice little discount code for the Tekken Ultimate Edition, which is $110. I'm getting it for $79.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so that's it. Like I'm about to do the trick where people crack the demo, and instead of playing with the 4 characters that are available, it expands the roster to 12 characters.
Mm.
I'm messing with that, but I also didn't want to. I also am like maybe I'll just hold back because I don't want to spoil myself on it. Yeah, but it's fun. It's fun. I can't. I can't wait. I can't wait for the 26th. So check back next week. I'll have some more things to say about it.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tekken's
You
getting
know me,
good scores.
yeah. You know me, my what are we playing blurbs are always kind of concise. Unless Matt's on and we're talking about Monster Hunter.
Yeah. Well,
I'm definitely debating getting Tekken 8, and if I do, I think we should like have a game night
Hey,
or something.
it's got crossplay, so I can play you on the PC and while with you on the PS5.
Perfect. Don't expect me to be good, but I would like to kind of shake. I haven't played Tekken since Tekken 4.
I'm not champion worthy. You're not going to see me going to Evo anytime soon playing Tekken.
You're not reading frames.
Oh no, I cannot read frames. I cannot read frames. Like, I don't know how people do that. I literally do not know how people do that.
do they
Like,
have any guest characters this time?
nothing's been announced yet, and you know what? I'm gonna say good riddance because like all those guest characters from Akuma to Geese Howard to Noctis to like they're all busted. And
Negan. Good old Negan.
Oh yeah, Negan was another one. Yeah, like good riddance. Like either create original characters or just bring back like the host of like characters from the past Tekken games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I mean Akuma in Tekken 7, like literally like if I'm a Street Fighter player and if Akuma and Tekken like broke my brain, in playing Tekken, then I know it threw a whole bunch of other people off.
Yeah, but I also wonder if Akuma and Tekken made up for. Remember the Street Fighter Cross Tekken game, and then there was supposed to be the Tekken Cross Street Fighter game that never came out. I wonder if
Yeah,
that was supposed.
That's what was supposed to happen actually.
Yeah, I wonder if that was like the make good and be like, hey, we're not gonna do this because it's too difficult, but we can at least put Akuma in here.
Yeah, and the
maybe that
wild part about it
satisfied some.
is they made Akuma canon to Tekken's storyline. That's the
Yeah.
wild part.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
Well, so is Noctis from Final Fantasy 15.
I don't really understand how he's technically canon to Tekken's storyline. Like he's like besties with Lars, I guess, because like certain win poses, like he'll actually go on the phone and call Lars, and is like, "What is going on here?"
Yeah. Good times.
Good times.
Good times. Pat?
Yeah?
What are you playing?
Well, let me tell you the games I have played. I managed to beat a backlog game.
Ooh.
That's right. So 2 points for me there. It is the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, which came out a couple years ago. This was a sequel to the Ace Attorney series that we never actually got until they came out with this collection. And this deals with Phoenix Wright's ancestors who traveled abroad to England. And it's definitely got a lot of that Ace Attorney humor that this series is known for. Like, if you ever heard about Ace Attorney and were kind of curious about it, it is a very good court drama, but in an anime court drama. So it doesn't quite take itself seriously, but the cases are serious in and of themselves. But the characters are definitely very tropish. Uh, but the interactions that you have with them are just memorable. And also, the cases themselves have a lot of twists and turns, so you may or may not necessarily see how something fits until it almost gets to that point where it gets revealed in the case. These games are incredibly long. Usually a trial will take anywhere from
This is the sequel series to Phoenix Wright, right? It's not the Phoenix Wright series. Phoenix Wright run. Okay.
Technically the prequel series.
The prequel series, okay.
Yeah, the sequel series actually comes out later this week. That is the Apollo Justice series.
Apollo Justice, okay.
Yep. Which still has Phoenix as a main character in that series, but he shares the spotlight with a newcomer named Apollo Justice.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is a very fun series. I highly recommend it. It will definitely scratch your brain a little bit, but it's a very memorable story. with amazing cast of characters, and it's cool to see how these cases can actually like tie together, and just you know it kind of brings you to that satisfying conclusion, especially this Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, because the second one was supposed to be the end, or at least the end of that story arc. I hope that they make more games because those characters were awesome. And the director of the Phoenix Wright series or Ace Attorney series has come out and says the series is not dead, that they're going to keep that series going.
I love Capcom's art department for the
Mm-hmm.
entire Phoenix Wright universe. It is like that is some top notch artwork. Like
Mm-hmm.
the character designs, like just the character designs, the background, the backdrops, the scenery, all this stuff. Like it's gorgeous. Like that's one thing I will say about Capcom. Capcom has some top notch fucking artists.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like all the components of these Phoenix Wright games are perfect. Like you got yourself those beautiful art sets, with those really cool looking characters, and you have a musical pieces that just fit with the tones of either character themes or like just how dramatic the court battles get. Like there's just it really helps build up on the emotion of these cases that you go through.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that I beat that, and so that's game number 4 for me this year, first of the backlog. I also one of the other reasons I wanted to beat that is because I picked up another visual novel series style game, Nintendo's Another Code Recollection series.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Uh huh. And this game is a remake, and I mean a remake from. It's strange. I had the original one, which we called Transmemory here in America. I don't remember a damn thing about that game, like literally. But the way it played, like the game's completely remade, so that's 3D. The camera's kind of an over-the-shoulder behind you camera work, and it's kind of turned it more into a walking simulator. Um, you play as a girl named Ashley, who, when she was 3 years old, she lost her mother, and her father then went missing shortly after that. And she receives a letter one day from her father inviting her to Edward Island, or what is now known as Blood Edward Island, because of a mysterious past that has happened.
Wasn't Edward Island the name of the island in Oxenfree?
Yes.
Yeah, it's ringing a bell. Yeah.
You know what? It's Edward Island. If the island's named Edward, it probably got some weird shit going on
Is
there.
it?
Yeah.
Is that a real place? Like, are these real places?
I guarantee you can find that. So she goes and chases after her father, who she has not seen in 11 years, to kind of figure out what happened. Like, why can't she remember her past and, like, what happened with her family? And while she's there, she runs into a ghost named Dee, and she makes a promise to help him find his memories. And so that's kind of the gist of the story, is that you're going around exploring this island, more specifically the mansion of this island, and learning the history of what happened in the past for Dee's sake, while also trying to find your father, for Ashley's sake. And that is pretty much the premises of the first game. Then once you beat the first game, you unlock the second game that takes place 2 years later.
Oh,
Um,
sounds super interesting.
yeah,
Yeah.
the actual, like, I will say the story is pretty simple. If there's any twists and turns, you're probably going to see them a mile away. But it's still the conversations that Ashley has with Dee are very well thought out, and you really see the relationship that these two characters uh, build on it. So overall, I beat the first one, and it was a fun game, and I look forward to finding out more in the second one that kind of explores more of Ashley's mom and what she, you know, used to do in the past. But you're Ashley and you're 2 years older now.
Nice. A ballpark, how long did the first one take?
7 hours, but I went
Okay.
and literally tried to find all the little, like I clicked on everything I could find. So if you just kind of rush through the story, you could probably beat it in like 5.
That's
But
a nice quick game.
yeah, I think overall I heard the series is like 12 to 15 hours between both games.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's a fun little romp if you're into walking simulators. And finally, a kind of fun game that I picked up because I absolutely loved the first one, and I had to get the first one because the first game was called Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion.
Oh God, here we go.
Yeah.
I had to get that one because I'm an accountant. I had to see how he committed this tax evasion, and
Is it accurate?
is accurate. I mean, he did kind of like put his foot down and said, "I'm not paying taxes," and he did get away with it. So,
Hey, spoilers. Gosh.
well, that's the premise for the second one that takes place 2 years later. Because he committed tax evasion, he caused a one-day war that was an absolute disaster for the country, and so now in day 2, he's going out and he's robbing a bank.
Mm.
I don't know how that all fits in together, but he gets a call and it's like, "Hey, you should come rob a bank with us," and he just kind of jumps in the van and grabs a gun and he starts to rob a bank with the other vegetable characters.
Get in the van.
That's kind of how the story goes. So if you played the first one was very much more like a Zelda like game, like a top-down Zelda. This one is more of like a twin stick shooter,
Mm.
roguelike. But the
Oof. Gross.
levels don't change. It's just more you keep repeatedly going back into the bank to rob, get some more money, upgrade your character a little bit, so that you can like eventually beat a boss and move on to the next section of the bank. You can go into these elevators, which kind of brings up a random level, but they're not randomized. It's just like one of these preset levels that you eventually like get into. There's plenty of side quests, plenty of fun humor between the various characters that are in the game. The missions are very fast. You have a police jammer that starts off at 2 minutes, and you can eventually buy time to make the jammer last longer. But then, usually, when the jammer ends, that's when you want to get the hell out of there because you're going to be sworn by a never ending line of like progressively harder cop like vegetable characters.
Hmm.
But it's fun, amusing, just kind of doing a quick little romp, shaking down as many like customers or breaking into safes and defacing artwork and finding all these little hats to wear.
Hmm.
That it's cute, it's charming. I hear it's not very long. You could probably like mainline it in like 3 to 5 hours if you wanted to. But
Okay.
it's adorable. But play
Hmm.
tax evasion first, because story.
Play tax evasion.
Well, yeah, the
Commit.
genre of tax evasion sounds more my style. Tax evasion is actually on my not bucket list, sorry, backlog.
Hmm.
So,
Yep.
excuse
Commit.
me.
So commit tax evasion before you rob a bank.
Okay, makes sense.
Yep.
Yes.
And that's me.
Yes. Hmm.
And Prince of Persia, which I'm still working on. I'm cleaning the map right now.
Nice.
Pretty close.
Right.
I'll probably have it beat next time.
Yeah, I got it, and so I'm gonna play it,
Mhm.
but I again have to finish a bunch of other stuff first. So.
Yep.
Speaking of
Oh,
finishing things,
guys,
what?
Bit
What'd you do?
Brigade's coming to Rhode
Who?
Island, and I'm so excited.
What is it?
Bit Brigade?
What is that?
No one knows.
I was afraid to ask that question.
I guess they're a concert band or something. It says Legend of Zelda. Tickets get Bit Brigade. Perform Legend of Zelda Castlevania. StubHub is advertising on my Instagram. Sorry.
That's fair.
Anyway, sorry.
They got to sell something because nobody's buying Patriots tickets for a while. Heyo.
It's all right. Listen, I'm one of the very, very few New Englanders that are like all riled up and I know it's not a PC term, butthurt about it all. But you know what? We had our run. We had our. It's the brain fog kicking in. What's that thing when you like win several times in a row? Dynasty. I kept thinking Emperor. I'm like, what is it? That we have had our dynasty.
Belichick.
Belichick, Brady. It was great, but we're getting spoiled. We need to suck for a while. Let some teams that haven't won win, because that's why I love the Red Sox so much, because we sucked for decades and decades and decades. Then we won 04 and 07 and 13. It was the best ever. And now we don't care about them again. So I take zero offense to that. I'm like, you know what? Patriots need to suck for a bit. And I'm pretty sure all of New England's going to hate me for saying that, but I believe it.
Or you could just be the Packers and just keep getting good players in drafts.
Yeah, stop. It must be nice. Must be nice.
We just don't win Super Bowls, that's all.
You could be Cleveland and have the best player in the world twice and have him leave twice. LeBron.
Nice.
Also might come back for a third time, apparently, is the new rumor, but whatever. Anyways, so we have 2 topics on the dock tonight. LeRon, I know you want to talk about Palworld, and I think we should probably talk about Palworld, so we're going to go that direction.
Talk about Palworld.
I think we're going to go that direction first. So Palworld is, in case you've been sleeping under a rock, is
blowing it up.
Is an early access crafting and survival game that looks an awful lot like Pokemon with guns.
What are you talking about? You can't prove that any of those pals look like Pokemon.
I didn't say they did. I don't think any of them. I don't think it really matters. If they get sued, then Temtem should be sued. Then Nexamon should be sued.
Right.
Digimon should be sued.
Then Pokemon should be sued because
Dragon Quest.
Yeah,
I was about to say. I thought you were about to say Monster Hunter. I was about to. Fight.
Pokemon. No, Pokemon would then need to be sued because it's copying off of Dragon Quest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and it's not even like I get you're supposed to catch monsters, but it's more like a Minecraft meets Metal Gear Solid 5 situation where you're catching these things to do jobs, menial tasks for you around your camp so you can go out and get more materials.
Build up that base.
Yeah. It's all about the base. No trouble. So, LeRon, what's your fascination with this game?
There's the only reason why I mentioned this in like our chats before the show is because like there's a situation that's going on, right? Because okay, so we just kind of like touched on the fact that like there's like very similar-ish type things going on with this game in Pokemon, for example. And
is like, there though?
It's got
just
in spirit they might look like Pokemon. I mean, but I mean, if I'm being for real and honest here, like the creatures in Palworld look better than everything from the last 3 generations of brand new Pokemon that have been out.
I have a bag of trash in my kitchen, LeRon. Is Nintendo going to come sue me?
There is a Pokemon that's literally a bag of trash.
I know, that's why I said that.
Exactly. I was thinking about it too. Like I'm like, how long has Pokemon been a thing? Like what, 20 years now?
30-ish, 96.
Oh my God, almost 30 years, and that's I guess that's a topic for a conversation for another day. But I you guys know I get kind of passionate about certain things that happen in the video game community, and the fact that assholes are out there like threatening and trying to dox like the actual art teams and stuff for the game. That's some bullshit, y'all.
Guys, that's how you know you made it big in the video game world, is when you start getting death threats.
Yeah, death threats. Exactly.
Quick question, guys, because I had to step away for a second. Because I try not to buy into this BS and drama. Is Nintendo actually taking legal action, or is it just people
No.
bitching and complaining and want?
The only legal action
Okay.
That
Nintendo
part.
took was a fan mod.
Yes,
That
that
put
I saw.
Pokemon in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they banned mods because someone actually made mods where your character is Ash Ketchum and
Yep.
like the Pokemon look like Pikachu.
Mhm.
I mean
So-
the pals look like Pikachu.
So here's my 2 cents. I don't know the exact law of what's considered a full, plagiarism type thing, and I've seen comparison images, and like I get it, I see the resemblance, but I still think it's separate enough. And the bottom line, if
Oh.
Nintendo's not taking action, then who gives a fuck?
Well, that's the thing about
The game is way separate enough. Other than the actual
exactly.
features themselves, the game plays nothing like Pokemon.
And that community pisses me off. There's a female streamer that I follow on Twitter, and I think it's from the opposite side of the community, actually. She said she was getting death threats and just harassed online because she wouldn't.
Streaming it.
I think it was actually the opposite. She just didn't want to stream it, and the Palworld community was getting all like, I don't know, like both sides need to just. It's a dumpster fire. I'm like, this is what makes us gamers look bad.
It's weird that that Palworld has a community when the game just is barely out. I mean, like 6+ million strong like users, and the user base right now is that's amazing actually.
And it crossed over 2 million concurrent users on Steam.
Yeah, and they're not even counting Xbox early access or Game Pass users
Game
either.
Pass. Yeah.
Listen, I don't know what their secret sauce is, but I'd say, you know what? Good for them for creating a product that a lot of people want to play that's different than Fortnite and other stupid BS. And Pokemon's been around for a long time anyway, even though it plays differently.
I think they kind of leaned into the fact that I was like, you know what, we got something that's gonna like pique people's interest. Like the whole. I mean, because let's be honest with you, when they announced this like 2 years ago, like everyone was like, "Oh man, Nintendo's gonna get in their ass about this," because let's be honest, like it does kind of look like Pokemon characters, but now the game is out and stuff, and yeah, like I've seen the comparisons with like the skeletons and like old concept art from Pokemon and stuff like that, and apparently there's this thing where like it was AI generated or whatnot. You know what? That's a flaw in AI. That's a flaw in AI generation, to be honest with you. And you know what? This is why people in Hollywood are striking, because AI does this shit. It plagiarizes shit. If we're gonna be honest, AI is plagiarizing shit. So Palworld, the developers of Palworld, like they could be semi on the hook if Nintendo's like, you know what, we're gonna take you out of court, because we all know Nintendo lives in fucking court.
Yeah, but the thing is, if Nintendo was going to do this, they would have done it 3 years ago when this game was announced, not 3 years later.
They would have done cease and desist, because man, I tell you what, they took down that fucking Link's Awakening like remake thing, like
yeah, but that's
in a hurry.
Yeah, because they're using their IP, right? I mean, that's the thing. AM2R, the Link's Awakening remake, every like 3 months, Ocarina of Time HD remake in Unreal Engine pops up somewhere, and it's like, first of all, if you're that talented to be remaking that game, make it like use that talent on a portfolio and try to get a job making a real game.
Or make something original. Like I mean, like shit. We have indie devs that actually get nominated for Game of the Year, and it's like 2 people in the corner of their basement.
Yeah.
I just don't get the fan anger though. It's like, listen, it's Nintendo's product and Game Freak's product. If they want to sue them or choose not to sue them, then let that be. I like, what gives the gamers the right to be so pissed off and upset and cry and bitch and complain?
That question comes up
fandom
all the time, and I think what really boils down to is like people take ownership in shit that they like, even if it's not their stuff. And like right now, there's like this big debate right now that like every freaking video game in our library is not our game, even if it's a physical copy. There's that argument. Right now, so everybody just wants ownership of something, and whatnot, and they want to be the biggest, the loudest, the proudest fan, and they want to be this champion or whatnot. But guess what? Like, they got your money. You know that, and you know what? Unless you're using your money to take them to court, it doesn't fucking matter. So why the hell are you doing dumb shit? Like, first of all, like, I don't know how many times I've said this on previous episodes of the Bossers podcast, on my own show, the Crossroads show. You do know communicating threats, that's a federal crime. If they really want to get your ass, like, guess what? They will get your ass a lot faster than Nintendo will come after motherfuckers for copyright infringement. So
Yep.
like that's a lesson that people need to learn quick, fast, and in a hurry. Because I mean, just like with how like bottom line, I'm a Monster Hunter fan, right? You know, and I've seen in the last 10, 15 years, I've seen a whole bunch of Monster Hunter clones, and I don't get angry to the point where I'm like, man, fuck this company, you know, like fuck these developers, you know, like they all need to die in a fire or whatnot, you know, like, because guess what?
Hey, LeRon,
Huh?
God Eater is Monster Hunter with a better story.
Ooh. Yikes.
Ooh.
Good night, everybody. I'm leaving. I'm signing off.
Proved your point right there.
I didn't like God Eater. I played the original God Eater, and I don't know, like it just like that special sauce that Stephanie was talking about. Like, you know, I don't want so much a Monster Hunter clone. I want a game that can give me the Monster Hunter experience without just trying to like copy the formula. You know.
No, I think
and
though
that's just.
yeah,
Go ahead.
my point I think though was I just took something that you treasure very much, and I kind of said that there's something better out there, and in your mind you're
I
like,
just did.
oh
I just
hell
did a
no,
little
there
bit of
wasn't.
theatrics. I just did a
Yeah,
little bit of theatrics for you.
I
That's
know,
all.
but
That's
I
all.
think that's kind of what the mentality is, and these Pokemon fans are like screaming death threats. It's like you just took something that I treasure and just made like copy paste and then did something better with it. What the
But
hell?
what? But you know what? I guess the psychology, the psychological question is, why are y'all defending it so bad? Because guess what? With the exception of Arceus or Arceus or however you pronounce it, the last 3 Pokemon games have been trash. There was problems with those games.
And you're right. I think that's bringing up a good discourse that Game Freaks needs to shake up their game. Like,
Hell yeah.
But
mhm.
when the last copies of Pokemon sold 20 million units, like why do they have any reason to change that
Well,
up?
that's because the
Mhm.
sheep just run out there and they buy the damn thing. You know what? Like the last release was such a shit show. People bought the game just to see the shit show.
Mhm.
Well, that makes it even worse. Stop.
Yeah, it's like you basically like congratulated them for making a shitty product, you know. But then again, you know, we get games like, okay, maybe the Callisto Protocol is kind of a far stretch, but we get games like the Dead Space remake can't even sell enough copies to get possibly greenlit for the second project and stuff like that. But you got all these. You know what? My social media is at X's803. Come at me. We got all these jackasses that go out there and buy this dumb shit, and they just basically reward the companies for giving like really shilly product.
Links in the show notes.
I mean, you know, like I'm always gonna get fired up and passionate about this because, like, you know, like because like the gaming community is like is this dichotomy of like nonsense. Like, we want good games, but we reward companies for putting out really bad product. You know, and Nintendo are not saints on this because like my God, like, you guys remember what stopped me from buying like Hyrule Warriors, right? The fact that the demo was shitty, you know, performed shitty, you know, that stopped me in my tracks. And yeah, you know what? There are people out there that can say like, oh, that's because he's a PC master racer.
Mhm.
It, it's a it's a console. These things are heavily configured to make sure you enjoy your experience. So why is a game that technically is first party, you know, coming up for their product coming out bad? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, people can say what they want and all this stuff, but you know, like, games are getting expensive, and I'm not one of those people that harp about the fact that games are $70 now. I don't, because like, we had it good for like 20-25 years where games stayed pretty stagnant on their pricing and stuff like that. You know, we had it really good, you know, so like that. So it's not even about the fact, but you know, like, we're getting closer to spending $100 for games, $100 for one game now than it used to be, where $100 almost bought you 3 games, stuff like that. So why are we allowing this stuff to happen? Like, there has to be some type of blowback, on the companies, and I know this is about Palworld versus Pokemon and everything, but the Pokemon community has to look at themselves for this shit. What you're mad about this stuff when you are literally the cause for why this stuff happens.
Mhm.
Part of me thinks that the Pokemon fans just either they gloss over, they just don't, they're okay with the games being bland and bad, or they just don't acknowledge that they're bad. Like, it's just it's that blind fandom where they just don't acknowledge that their own stuff is shit, or they're happy to love their shit. And I'm gonna quote, not quote specifically, Andy Spiteri from the it used to be the Champions cast, the Zelda cast. If you want, and I'm sure this is a quote from someone, if you want to make money out there in the world, because there's something for everyone now, you either have to be better than, worse than, or different. Okay.
Mhm.
So what Palworld did was kind of different in a sense, because they have Pokemon like looking things, but they almost, like you said, Corey, you said they leaned on it. Those devs knew what they were doing. They're like, oh yeah, well, imagine, all these Pokemon that were our beloved childhood friendly cutesy things. It's like a meme.
Mhm.
What would you do if you just gave them like guns and just obliterated each other? Like, it's
Mhm.
a meme as a game, and they knew that people would eat that shit up. So as much as
Mhm.
I'm not in a Pal world and I don't like fads, I think it's brilliant.
Mhm.
I think so too.
It's
I really do.
self-marketing. Like,
Yep.
it's easy free marketing, right? Oh, what's this game? Pokemon with guns? Okay. Like, even if that's not really the game, right? Like, like you said, Stephanie, it's the meme. It's funny to think about. And so, and then apparently, I mean, they may have built a fun, decent game around that meme that actually turned out to be a pretty good game, and good on them,
Mhm.
I You have to give them credit, man. I mean, whether this fad lasts for a couple months or another week, or a couple years, right? I mean, we all thought Fortnite was a fad, and here we are 6 years later. It's still, you know, God, they're making guitars for their rock band equivalent, right? I mean, they're
Yeah.
just out here doing the thing. But yeah, good on them, man. Good on the studio. Um, I'm glad they're finding success. Seriously. Um, so in all honesty, I'm not a lawyer. Clearly, I'm not a lawyer, but I don't think Nintendo has a leg to stand on, or Pokemon Company has a leg to stand on, because they would have done it already,
Mm-hmm.
or they don't think the taking that risk, that legal risk, is worth fighting for, and they don't know if they can win or not, right? Like, there's
That's
that
kind of
too. So
that's kind of where I'm at, actually. I'm in that camp. Like, Nintendo's also really good about picking and choosing their battles. They
Mhm.
really are, and stuff like that. And I feel like if Nintendo thought they really had something on this, they would have swooped in already.
Yeah, yeah. So good on them. Good on Power World. I hope they whatever. Cool. Hey, there's me. I just turned on Twitter for a second, and Pat and a cat and me.
Yep. And LeRon's shoulder.
Mm,
His sleeveless shoulder.
yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry, LeRon.
I did the no sleeves thing today.
I
Mhm.
didn't
Heyo.
I didn't cut the sleeves off of this yet. I'm not going to either, but you know. Well, do we want to talk about the next topic or answer this question?
Let's
Let's
do a
answer the
question.
Yeah.
question.
Let's answer a question, and then let's see how we feel about the next topic.
All right, because we did start late tonight, so we are kind of running late, and Stephanie doesn't feel good, so we should probably get
Mhm.
her.
Hey, but I'm anything but dead air so far, Corey Dirrig. So
I never said anything like that. Remember, you can ask us questions via Twitter. Look for the thread. usually on Tuesday or
Yeah,
in
like why
Discord.
is Corey such a jerk?
Yeah, sure. Been called worse. It's fine. The One True James via Discord asks, what 2023 game do you think is the most overrated? Most
Overrated. Okay.
What 2023 game do you think is the most overrated? Well, I mean, we just did get talking about some Pokemon games just now, didn't we?
Yeah, but
But
there
they
weren't
didn't
any in
come out.
2023.
Yeah.
Wait,
And there
wait,
weren't.
wait.
Yeah.
There were no
Well,
Pokemon games in
Wait,
2023.
the game that got us
technically, there was
hashtag
Pikachu.
Dicklet. That was not last year.
No, it's
No,
2 years
that
ago.
was 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You had the expansions this year,
Yeah.
and you had Detective Pikachu this year,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and Pokemon Sleep. I think technically.
2023 game do you think is the most
Overrated.
overrated? I really don't know because I feel like a lot of games really earned their salt
Yeah,
last
they
year.
delivered.
Like 2023 was a fantastic year for gaming. Probably one of the best years in gaming that I can remember. And you know, like because I also want to say the year that Sony's PSP came out, that was also a good year because man, like back and forth, like PS3 and PSP, like there was stuff to do, you know.
Yeah. I actually have two games I want to shout out, and they're both exclusives.
Okay.
So I've been playing a lot of Mario Wonder as well. Not this week, but overall.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mario Wonder is a little overrated.
You son of a bitch!
I don't understand why everybody is nutting themselves over this game.
Singing
good
piranha plants, dancing ninjas.
Okay, those were all new Super Mario Brothers. Next,
that stuff gets old. That stuff gets old. I will say that. You know, like
it's
the first time I encountered those stages, I was like, yeah, this is fun. Then I was like, what again?
and here's the thing.
I feel like it played itself out like really fast.
Here's the thing. It is an amazing 2D platformer. But I don't think it's in the same realm as New Super Mario Brothers U on the Wii U. Okay?
I agree.
It's a 2D Mario game with a different art style. Okay. Neat. That's almost every Mario game since the first one.
Corey, the Nintendos are going to come after you.
I don't
Well,
care.
you know what? I'll back you up because I just had to refresh my brain of the games from last year just because there were so many. Most of them have earned their great gameness, or they were already seen as mediocre and therefore not overrated, if that makes sense. So if I had to pick from all the greats, I hate to say it, I think I could agree with Mario Wonder. That does not mean it's a bad game. But
No.
I think it's a great game.
I was so overhyped about it. By the time I played it, I was kind of like, oh, really? And the fact that it was one of the nominations for Game of the Year, I think, compared to all the bangers that we've had, it was slightly overrated. I'll give a shout out or a, what do you call it? Oh my gosh, my brain's failing me. Like a whatever. Anyway, Minecraft Legends. That's the latest Minecraft game that came out. Only for the mere fact that, oh my gosh, this brain fog is for real. What's that game that we just talked about? Fortnite. Like Fortnite, Minecraft is just, there's millions of people. Kids are obsessed with Minecraft. But I think to this day, just your standard Minecraft is still top notch. Minecraft Dungeons a little bit. But I really haven't heard boo on or anything on Minecraft Legends.
They're already ending support for it.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So I felt like they were really hyping it up, and it's overrated compared to its original versions.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I know this is going to be somewhat controversial, but I think Microsoft needs to do Minecraft too. At this point, I think that would be. I don't really know what you would do next. I mean, you could put Minecraft in anything, right? I mean, you have Minecraft Story Mode, which is the the Telltale game, has 2 seasons. I guess they're making a movie out of that too
Ugh.
with
Jack
who's
Black.
Jack Black.
Jack Black and Aquaman. What's his name? Jason Momoa.
Jason
Oh,
Momoa.
oh my gosh. How in the hell are they going to... Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I
Make
forgot who
everything a
some of the
movie.
female
Do we?
characters.
All right. Do we blame the Mario movie for this, or do we blame what's the other?
Sonic?
Yeah. Who do we blame?
I mean, I don't think you blame anybody. I think the video game movies are inevitable. I think we've been trying to do this the same way we've been doing comic book movies, right? I mean, we had the Tomb Raider movies, and everybody loves the Mortal Kombat movies and the Wizard, and
I know, but now they're coming fast and furious, and like I don't know, some of them are just so out. Like for me, Minecraft movie is coming out of nowhere. Like how does that
it's like a
fucking
game of
make
dodge.
sense?
well,
they're like a game of dodgeball. It's all balls to the face right now. Shit.
well, the Minecraft movie, to be fair, has been in like development hell for like a decade
I thought it was
because
I thought it was Borderlands that was in the development hell because Jack Black is attached to that one.
yeah, well,
true.
he's in it. He's in that one, but no, on the Minecraft movie, Patton Oswalt was attached to that originally, and he ended up doing the voice in the Telltale game.
Mm.
And so, I mean, but also like Netflix has BioShock and Gears of War in the works. Like, Sony has all their stuff, like a Gravity Rush and God of War show, and Horizon's getting an anime voiced by Haley Atwell, which is kind of exciting.
All right, well then that's just kind of a moot point, but Minecraft's a hard one to think of what else they could do because Minecraft in itself is literally a world where you could literally do basically anything with blocks. um, I don't know if they just want to make more skins of it. Like I know if you get it on the Nintendo Switch, you have like a limited Mario skin world version. I don't know. Minecraft Dungeons was kind of sort of fun. I don't know how successful it was. My son's played a little bit of it on the PlayStation Extra, PS Extra or something. But anyway, I just felt like Legends just let everybody down.
Yeah, it was. I mean, look, Minecraft makes so much money; they can do things like that, and if it fails, they can just try again with something else, right? I mean, I think a strategy RPG is next to be, in my opinion, would be really interesting.
Love it if they came out with a Tactics Ogre movie just for the sake of having the title be called Tactics Ogre, and people would be like, "What the fuck is this?"
Well, didn't they just remake Tactics Ogre?
Yes.
Yeah.
They remade the good one, the PlayStation version.
Let us cling together.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the other one that I was gonna shout out was Spider-Man 2. I feel like I've been playing that game for 20 years. Like the Spider-Man 2 on the PS2 and Xbox was like, it's the same game. I don't get me wrong, Insomniac nailed the swinging. The characters look great, the combat's fun, but like I've been playing that game for 20 years, and even the Amazing Spider-Man games that Activision did was like, it's the same game. Why does that game get a 6.5 and this one gets a 9? I don't understand, except for like, I get everybody likes Insomniac, and Insomniac makes great games, and I'm not trying to take anything away from Spider-Man being a great game, but like, man, it's a little overrated, guys.
Have you guys seen any online chatter about the game? Because other than people complaining at the Game Awards, I really have not seen a lot of discourse on Spider-Man 2 since launch.
No, I mean, I think a lot of people, good. I mean, a lot of people like it. Good for them. Like, I didn't say I didn't like it. Again, it's the Mario Wonders situation where like, it's still a great game, but like, it's not like, I don't think it deserves to win any awards or anything.
Yeah, I feel like it didn't stay. I feel like it didn't stay in people's conversations long. I feel like after that shit, I want to say after the first 2 or 3 weeks, like it was basically out of everybody's like conversation.
Yeah, well, I mean, like it came out in that window where like Modern Warfare 3 and Alan Wake 2 and Baldur's Gate had just come out. Like it was coming out in a crowded window.
Yeah. Yeah, so by the time like the majority, the general population of people who were playing it at that time like beat it, like that was about how fast it left the conversation.
Mm.
Well, guys, let's face it. The real most overrated game of 2023 was Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
Sure.
Without even playing that game, I can say yes.
That's right. There's no reason a remake should be like not nabbing all those awards again. None.
No. Hold on. Let's fix that verbiage there.
Okay.
No remake of Resident Evil 4 should be getting that many awards and nominations. No, because like the other games that came before it, so RE2 remake, RE3 remake, even the GameCube, RE1 remake, stuff like that. They, in my opinion, definitely have a seat at the table. But Resident Evil 4, like this is a game that's been ported for. It's been ported to every damn system. Shoot, it was even ported to systems that we didn't think would ever get it. Like little, I think there
Like
was
the iPhone.
I was about to say I think there was an iOS version of it. Yeah, wait, that's now.
Yeah, the new one, the remake just got released.
I was talking about in the past.
So did
Yes.
Village, and Death Stranding comes out like next week, I think.
Yeah, well, there's some tomfoolery going on with that, but anyway, I've been saying this since Resident Evil 4 came out back in the day. Like it's overrated. It gave the Resident Evil franchise a good shot in the arm. It moved it from a formula that was getting old and stale like super fast and stuff like that. But now with no offense to Paxel, you can't swing a dead cat without hitting a copy of Resident Evil 4 in this day and age now.
Remember when it was a GameCube exclusive?
I'm sorry, Zelda 2. I'm sorry.
Remember when Resident Evil 4 was a GameCube exclusive?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah,
I had the box that said only for GameCube.
That lasted
That
for
aged
what?
well.
That lasted for what? Like 18 months?
Less than a year.
Yeah. Capcom was like, "Oh shit, we did not make enough money on this."
Yeah, that's good to get your perspective because I haven't played Resident Evil 4 prior to this remake. So for me, my viewpoint of Resident Evil 4 is like much higher. But that's because I don't really have the history.
No. This should not have tainted your. This should not have tainted your.
No, and it
your
doesn't.
outlook.
No,
Yeah,
it doesn't.
yeah.
But I enjoy hearing the other side.
8 million PAL tamers reached on Palworld.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
8
Less
million.
than a week.
40 minutes ago, that was reported. 8 million. 6
Well,
days.
guys, that means we have to change this from being a variety
That's a
podcast.
certified hit. I'm sorry. That's a certified hit.
We need to quickly make a Palworld podcast to catch up with this hype. We're gonna ride this wave, baby.
Oh, is it too late?
That'll get some views.
Yeah, no, I didn't see any Palworld themed podcast yet.
What are we calling it? Palpod?
Palpod.
Do you think some of those numbers are starting to exponentially shoot up? Because I also believe a lot of content creators are all of a sudden like, this will be the game that we're streaming. Because like everyone that's a content creator is like, guess what? Who wants to watch me play Pokemon with guns tonight? I'm like, all right, okay.
You
This
can
is
even join me because it's multiplayer.
This feels like an Elden Ring situation where people are gonna get really excited to play Pokemon with guns, and they're gonna find out it's a crafting and survival game, and they're gonna be like, "What the fuck is this?" Good luck, guys. Have fun. Oh man.
Nice question, though.
I think Dave the Diver was overrated. I'm just kidding. Like God, Pat is death staring me through the internet so hard right now. Oh man.
Yeah, one day I'll get back to
Hey,
it.
that was for that snarky remark about God.
Dave the
God
Diver
Universe
can be
Monster Hunter.
Dave the Diver can be a backlog game for me eventually here.
Well, I thought you already beat it.
No, not yet.
Oh,
I've only beat the first chapter, and there's like 7 chapters in the game.
Wow. It's not my backlog because I don't own it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think we're gonna wrap it there. I think we're gonna put a nice little bow on it right there.
Good show, Pod Pals.
Good.
Like I said,
Good.
Pokemon Force. My socials are at Exodus803. Talk to me.
Sure.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes, talk to LeRon. Don't talk
Watch.
to
My
me.
my DMs be so dry. Like it's because I don't thirst trap anymore on my account. My DMs be so dry. Like,
Trying to
they're not gonna
thirst
say
trap people.
shit. They're not gonna say shit to me. I
trying to-
guarantee you.
I'm
At
trying to thirst.
Exodus803. It's also my Blue Sky handle. It's also my Instagram handle. Just yeah, like you got something to say to me about your damn Pokemon game? I'm not even playing Palworld yet.
Yeah.
Pat, what were you saying?
I was just saying, I've been trying to thirst trap people with Zelda, and it's not working.
Aw.
What the hell?
Did somebody just tell me to sit down?
No, I didn't.
No, it's just I tried to, jump in, and you like 5 times there.
Oh yeah, I was getting hype. I want the smoke. I was getting hype.
Oh God. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for listening and or watching this episode of the Boss Rush Podcast. If you enjoyed our discussion, please subscribe to our YouTube channel or your favorite podcast application. You can support us over on Patreon, patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. Any tier grants you early access to this podcast and all of our other podcasts. Choose a tier that's right for you. Follow us on social media at Boss Rush Network. Stephanie, Pat, LeRon, thank you for your time tonight, as always. Always a good time. Always fun. And I want to thank everybody out there for watching and or listening. And until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
You're our pals.
If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network and our family of podcasts.